Coins are more than just small pieces of metal we use to buy things. They are tiny storytellers, carrying the history of a nation right in our pockets. In a country like Qatar, which has transformed so dramatically in just a few decades, these coins offer a fascinating window into its past. They tell a story of ancient trade routes, shifting empires, a growing sense of national identity, and a bold vision for the future. Holding a Qatari coin is like holding a piece of that incredible journey. It connects you to the merchants who once sailed the Gulf, the leaders who forged a new nation, and the moments of celebration that have defined modern Qatar. The journey of Qatar's coinage is a truly remarkable one. It begins thousands of years ago, long before Qatar was the country we know today. In those early days, the people living on this peninsula used coins from distant lands, brought by traders crossing the deserts and sailing the seas. This shows how connected the region was to the rest of the world even back then. Later, as powerful empires rose and fell, their currencies became the standard here. It wasn't until the 20th century that Qatar began to create its own money, a huge step in its path towards becoming a modern, independent state. This story is not just about currency, it's about a nation finding its voice. Think about the incredible changes these coins have witnessed. They've been there through the age of pearl diving, when the sea was the source of all wealth. They were present during the discovery of oil and gas, which completely reshaped the country's destiny and the lives of its people. And they have been part of the recent, dazzling development that has put Qatar on the world stage, hosting massive international events. Each new coin design, each change in the metal used, marks a chapter in this national epic. It's a story of resilience, ambition and pride, all stamped onto these small circular objects that pass through our hands every day, without us often giving them a second thought. In this exploration, we'll travel through time to uncover the rich history behind Qatar's coins. We will start in ancient times, looking at the very first coins found in the region. We will then see how the money of great powers like the Ottoman Empire and British India was used here for centuries. Our journey will take us to the pivotal moment in 1966, when Qatar took its first step towards monetary independence, and then to 1973, when it launched its very own currency. We will look at how these coins have evolved, and how they are used today to celebrate the country's greatest achievements. It's a journey that reveals as much about Qatar as any history book. Long before the modern skyscrapers of Doha pierced the skyline, the land we now call Qatar was a crossroads for ancient civilizations. The earliest coins found here weren't Qatari at all, they were from powerful Greek empires. Archaeologists have unearthed silver coins bearing the image of Alexander the Great, dating back more than 2,000 years. These coins, known as drachms, were the international currency of their day, much like the US dollar is today. Finding them in Qatar tells us that this peninsula was already part of a bustling network of global trade. Local people would have used these coins minted far away to trade goods like pearls, spices, and textiles. One of the most intriguing chapters in the region's early coinage history is linked to a powerful historical figure named Qatari ibn al-Fuja'a. He was a 7th century Kharijite leader, a poet, and a warrior who led a rebellion against the Umayyad Caliphate. He was a formidable character who controlled a large area of Persia and Arabia. For a time he established his own authority and, crucially, he minted his own coins. These were Arab Sasanian silver dirhams, struck around the year 690 AD. While these coins were minted in Persia, not modern Qatar, his name, Qatari, represents the first time this identity was ever recorded on a coin, a fascinating link to the country's name. These early coins give us a tangible connection to a distant and often mysterious past. Imagine a trader in the 3rd century BC standing on the shores of Qatar using a coin with Alexander the Great's face on it to buy a handful of the region's famous pearls. Or picture the followers of Qatari ibn al-Fuja'a, using his newly minted dirhams as a symbol of their independence and defiance. These weren't just tools for commerce, they were symbols of power and influence. They show us that the story of Qatar is deeply woven into the wider history of the Middle East, a place of empires, trade, and powerful ideas. The method of making these early coins was a true craft. A skilled engraver would carve a design into a hard piece of metal, creating a die. Then, a blank piece of silver or gold, heated to make it soft, would be placed between two of these dies. A craftsman would then strike the top die with a heavy hammer, pressing the design onto the coin with a single, forceful blow. This process, known as striking, meant that no two handmade coins were ever exactly alike. Some might be off-center, others struck more weakly on one side. These small imperfections are what make each ancient coin a unique historical artifact. For hundreds of years, before Qatar had its own currency, the coins used in daily life painted a picture of the region's shifting political and economic tides. From the 16th century onwards, the powerful Ottoman Empire held influence over much of the Arabian Gulf. As a result, Ottoman coins became a common sight in the souks and ports of Qatar. People would have used silver kurus and golden liras, coins that carried the tugra, an intricate calligraphic seal of the Ottoman Sultan. Using these coins meant being part of the vast economic system of one of the world's great empires, connecting a small pearling town in Qatar to the grand capital of Istanbul. As the influence of the Ottoman Empire began to fade in the 19th and early 20th centuries, another major power made its presence felt: Great Britain. Through its control of India, Britain's economic power spread across the Indian Ocean and into the Gulf. The Indian rupee, a sturdy silver coin featuring the portrait of the British monarch, quickly became the dominant currency in the region. For the pearl divers, merchants, and fishermen of Qatar, the rupee was the standard currency for all transactions. Salaries were paid in rupees, and the price of pearls was set in rupees. This period firmly tied Qatar's economy to British India. Life in Qatar during this time was heavily dependent on this foreign money. The value of the rupee could be affected by events happening thousands of miles away in India or London, which in turn would impact the livelihoods of people in Qatar. In 1959, to create a more stable system for the Gulf states, the Reserve Bank of India issued a special currency known as the Gulf rupee. It looked very similar to the Indian rupee, but was a different color and was not legal tender in India. This was an important transitional step, giving the region a more distinct currency while still being linked to the rupee system. It was the currency of Qatar, right up until the mid-1960s. The reliance on foreign coins highlights Qatar's position as a hub of international trade long before the discovery of oil. The circulation of Ottoman, Persian, and later British Indian currencies shows a society that was open and connected. Local merchants had to be skilled in converting between different currencies and understanding their fluctuating values. This rich monetary tapestry, woven from the silver and gold of distant empires, set the stage for Qatar's eventual decision to seek its own monetary independence. The use of the rupee in particular was a long and important chapter that ended only when Qatar was ready to forge its own economic path. The year 1966 marks a hugely important moment in Qatar's monetary history. It was the year Qatar stepped away from the Gulf rupee and joined with its neighbor Dubai to issue a brand new currency, the Qatar and Dubai Rial. This was a significant move towards economic independence for both states. Following a devaluation of the Indian rupee, the Gulf states needed a more stable and reliable medium of exchange. The decision to create a joint currency was a practical solution, reflecting the close historical and economic ties between Qatar and Dubai at the time. This was the very first time a currency bore the name of Qatar. The new coins and banknotes were introduced with great anticipation. The coins were issued in denominations of 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 dirhams, with 100 dirhams making up 1 real. The designs were simple yet elegant. The obverse, or the head side of the coins featured a graceful gazelle, an animal symbolic of the Arabian desert, surrounded by the names Qatar and Dubai written in both Arabic and English. The reverse, or the tails side, showed the denomination in the center, with the date of the Islamic and Gregorian calendars. These coins represented a shared identity and a common ambition for a prosperous future. The coins were not made in Qatar or Dubai, as neither had a mint. Instead, the task of producing this new currency was given to the Royal Mint in London, one of the world's most respected and experienced minting institutions. They produced high-quality coins that were durable and consistent, a big step up from the varied collection of foreign coins that had been used before. The 1, 5, and 10 dirham coins were struck in bronze, while the higher-value 25 and 50 dirham coins were made of cupro nickel, a silver-colored alloy. This choice of metals was typical for modern coinage of that era, designed for everyday use. The Qatar and Dubai Rial, however, was destined to be short-lived. it was a currency of transition. In 1971, Dubai joined with Abu Dhabi and other emirates to form the United Arab Emirates, and it began to prepare for the launch of the UAE dirham. This meant the currency union with Qatar would come to an end. Although it was only used for a few years, the Qatar and Dubai Rial remains a crucial chapter in the story. It was Qatar's first taste of monetary sovereignty and paved the way for the country to launch its own, fully independent currency just a few years later. These coins are now prized by collectors as symbols of a unique moment of partnership in Gulf history. The year 1973 was, honestly, a landmark for Qatar. Following its declaration of independence in 1971 and its departure from the currency union with Dubai, the time had come for Qatar to have its very own money. The Qatar Monetary Agency, which was the forerunner to today's Qatar Central Bank, was established to oversee this historic task. In that year, the first truly Qatari rial was introduced, marking a definitive statement of national sovereignty. This new currency was a powerful symbol of a new era. Qatar was no longer reliant on foreign or joint currencies. It was now in full control of its own economic destiny, a proud and independent nation. The first series of Qatari coins carried designs that were carefully chosen to represent the nation's identity and heritage. The denominations remained the same as the previous joint currency: 1, 5, 10, 25 and 50 dirhams. The obverse of each coin proudly displayed the new coat of arms of Qatar. This emblem features two crossed scimitars, a traditional sailing dhow, and two palm trees, representing the country's traditions of strength, its connection to the sea, and its natural environment. Above the emblem, the words "State of Qatar" were written in elegant Arabic script, leaving no doubt about the coin's origin. On the reverse side, the design was kept clear and functional. The value of the coin was shown prominently in the center in Arabic numerals, with the words dirham or dirhams written below it. The Hijri and Gregorian calendar years were also included, just as they had been on the Qatar and Dubai coins. The metals used were also similar to the previous issue, with bronze for the lower values, 1, 5 and 10 dirhams, and cupro-nickel for the higher values, 25 and 50 dirhams. This consistency, really helped ensure a smooth transition for the public, as the new coins felt familiar in size and weight. The introduction of these coins was more than just a logistical exercise, it was a moment of immense national pride. For the first time, the people of Qatar could hold in their hands a currency that was entirely their own, bearing the symbols of their nation. These coins went into circulation alongside new banknotes, completing the picture of a modern, self-sufficient state. They were used for everything from buying bread in the souk to paying for the fuel that was powering the nation's rapid development. The 1973 series laid the foundation for all Qatari coinage that would follow, establishing a design language that has endured for decades. Since the first independent Qatari coins were issued in 1973, the currency has undergone several subtle but important changes. For many years, the designs remained very stable, providing a sense of continuity and familiarity for the public. The iconic coat of arms on the obverse and the clear denomination on the reverse became a standard feature of Qatar's pocket change. However, as the country grew and modernized, its coins evolved too. One of the most noticeable changes happened in the new millennium, when the size and metal composition of some of the coins were updated to make them more efficient and cost-effective to produce. A significant change occurred with the 25 and 50 dirham coins. Originally made from a cupro-nickel alloy, these coins were later produced using nickel-plated steel. This change might not be obvious at first glance, but it has a few key advantages. Steel is a less expensive metal than copper and nickel, so it reduces the cost of minting millions of coins. A thin layer of nickel plating gives the coins their familiar silver shine and protects the steel core from rust and corrosion. These new coins are also magnetic, which the older cupro-nickel ones were not. This allows them to be used more easily in modern vending machines and coin sorting equipment. Another evolution was in the size of the coins. Over time, the 50 and 25 dirham coins were made slightly smaller and lighter. This might seem like a minor adjustment, but it has a big impact when you consider the vast quantities of coins in circulation. Smaller, lighter coins are cheaper to mint because they use less metal, and they are also less expensive to transport and handle. For the public, it means less weight in their pockets and purses. These changes reflect a global trend in coinage, where mints are constantly looking for ways to make currency more practical and economical without sacrificing its durability or recognizability. Despite these technical adjustments, the core design elements of Qatar's circulating coins have shown remarkable consistency. The coat of arms, with its swords, dhow and palms, has remained the central symbol on the obverse of the coins for nearly 50 years. This speaks to the enduring power of these national symbols. While the metals and sizes have been tweaked to keep up with technology and economics, the visual identity of the Qatari rial has been carefully preserved. This blend of tradition and modernity is a perfect reflection of Qatar's own journey as a nation, respecting its heritage while embracing the future. Beyond the coins we use every day, Qatar has a rich tradition of issuing special commemorative coins to mark significant national events and celebrate its culture. These coins are not intended for general circulation, but are created as beautiful keepsakes for collectors and the public. They serve as metallic monuments, capturing moments of national pride and importance. Over the years, Qatar has issued coins to celebrate anniversaries of its independence, the accession of new emirs, and major milestones in its development. These coins are often made from precious metals like silver and gold, featuring intricate designs that tell a story. Without a doubt, the most ambitious and globally recognized commemorative coin program in Qatar's history was the one created for the FIFA World Cup 2022. Hosting this monumental event was a source of immense pride for the nation, and the Qatar Central Bank released an extraordinary series of coins to celebrate it. This wasn't just one or two coins, it was a comprehensive program featuring multiple designs. The series included coins made of gold, silver, and base metals, each one showcasing a different aspect of the tournament. The designs featured the official tournament logo, the stunning new stadiums built for the event, and the official mascot, Laib. These World Cup coins were a massive success, sought after by football fans and coin collectors all around the world. They were more than just souvenirs. They were official pieces of history, tangible mementos of the first ever World Cup to be held in the Middle East. The designs were modern and dynamic, capturing the excitement of the beautiful game. For example, one coin might feature a detailed engraving of the Al Bayt Stadium, while another might have a stylized image of a footballer in action. The Qatar Central Bank even released special banknotes to accompany the coin series, creating a complete set of commemorative currency for the event. The practice of issuing these special coins highlights how currency can be used as a powerful tool for national branding. By creating high-quality, beautifully designed coins for an event like the World Cup, Qatar shared its story with a global audience. These coins now sit in collections from Tokyo to Toronto, acting as permanent ambassadors for the country. They celebrate not just a football tournament, but also Qatar's ability to host a world-class event, and its ambition to play a leading role on the international stage. They are a modern expression of a very old tradition, using currency to project an image of pride and achievement. A country's ability to produce its own coins is a mark of its industrial and economic maturity. However, operating a national mint is a highly specialized and expensive undertaking. For this reason, many countries around the world, including Qatar, choose to have their coins produced by established, world-renowned mints in other countries. This practice, known as contract minting, ensures that the coins are of the highest quality, made using the latest technology, and are secure against counterfeiting. Qatar has worked with several prestigious mints over the decades to create its currency. The story begins with the Royal Mint of the United Kingdom. Located in Llantrisant, Wales, the Royal Mint is one of the oldest and most famous mints in the world, with over 1,000 years of experience. It was the Royal Mint that produced the first joint Qatar and Dubai real coins in 1966. They also minted the first independent Qatari coins in 1973, and have continued to be a key partner for Qatar's currency needs for many years. Their expertise in everything from engraving the initial designs to striking millions of flawless coins has been instrumental in shaping Qatar's coinage. As Qatar has grown, it has also worked with other leading mints. For some of its more recent coin issues, including the smaller steel-based coins, Qatar has collaborated with the Royal Canadian Mint. Like its British counterpart, the Royal Canadian Mint is a global leader in minting technology, famous for its innovation. They have developed advanced techniques like multiply plating, which is used to create the nickel-plated steel coins that are now common in Qatar. This partnership shows how Qatar seeks out the best global expertise to ensure its currency remains modern and secure. For its special commemorative issues, particularly the prestigious gold and silver coins, Qatar has also partnered with specialized mints known for their craftsmanship. For example, some of the stunning FIFA World Cup 2022 coins were produced by MDM Munzandelsgesellschaft in Germany, a company renowned for creating high-quality commemorative metals and coins. The choice of mint often depends on the specific requirements of the coin, whether it's a high-volume circulating coin or a limited-edition collector's piece. This global approach allows Qatar to benefit from a world of expertise, ensuring every coin that bears its name is made to the highest possible standard. The story of Qatar's coinage is a perfect miniature of the nation's own incredible journey. It begins not with Qatari coins, but with the money of ancient Greek kings and powerful Islamic caliphates, reminding us of the region's deep and interconnected history. For centuries, the currencies of dominant empires, from the Ottoman Turks to the British in India, were the lifeblood of trade in Qatar's ports and markets. These foreign coins, particularly the Indian rupee, tell a story of a time when Qatar's destiny was tied to larger external powers. They represent the pre-oil era, a world of pearling, fishing, and regional trade. The first major turning point came in 1966. The creation of the Qatar and Dubai Rial was a bold step, a declaration of regional cooperation and a move towards monetary freedom. The coin's elegant gazelle design symbolized a new beginning. Though this partnership was brief, it was a crucial stepping stone. It gave Qatar the experience and confidence it needed to go it alone. This coin represents a moment of transition, a bridge between being part of someone else's economic system and creating its own. It is a snapshot of a gulf on the cusp of profound change. The true dawn of Qatar's numismatic independence arrived in 1973 with the launch of the first Qatari Rial. The coins from this year, bearing the national coat of arms with its crossed swords and dhow, are the direct ancestors of the money used today. They are powerful symbols of sovereignty, launched just 2 years after the nation's independence. Since then, the coins have evolved in subtle ways, changing in size and metal to adapt to new technologies and economic needs, yet they have retained their core identity. This evolution reflects a nation that is practical and forward-thinking, but also one that deeply respects its founding symbols. Today, the story culminates with spectacular commemorative coins like those for the FIFA World Cup 2022. These modern issues, struck in gleaming gold and silver, are a world away from the simple hammered coins of ancient times. They are not just for buying goods, they are for broadcasting a message of achievement and ambition to the entire globe. From a simple trading outpost using foreign money to a modern nation minting its own high-tech commemorative coins, the journey of Qatar's currency is a powerful tale of identity, independence, and transformation. It is a history you can literally hold in the palm of your hand.